Hi, it's Graham Healy from Trade Canary, Australia and New Zealand. Today, I'm going to go through some more basics, but the focus is for you to set up your trading account. And I'm focused on people like myself who are semi-retired and just want to set up basically another income stream from a small timer's point of view with a view to becoming a big timer slowly and gradually. A lot of the, trading characters I see on the internet they're all making people, millionaires in 10 minutes. And to me, that's not logical. We've got to do it step by step. And so we do minimum risk, maximum gain. And why I say that is, I spent 2 years doing all the education. So basically, I went through all the courses, and I spent well over 10 grand actually in training, which I'm the sort of person who will rather train thoroughly before we actually do anything. I've got a med science degree as a qualified chiropractic degree. And also I've got masters in dry needling, so I do run musculoskeletal therapy as well. So semi-retired musculoskeletal therapist, plus I've got a whole stack of other qualifications. But I decided rather than to do a law degree, which I was about to do a law degree as well, at Bond University at the Gold Coast here near Brisbane, I decided instead that I'll do a master's, a type of master's degree in stock market option trading. And I say that because it took me 2 years and a lot of hard work. And now I have a fair understanding, enough understanding to be able to help others in my position. In other words, starting off with a very small amount and looking at building to a bigger amount. So my objective and goal is I start off with $1,000 account. I've built that up to 5,000 just on trades without throwing a whole lot of money at it, just on ability rather than trying to start with a big account and then learn the hard way. And why I say that is when I did my initial training, the guys that were teaching me were professional traders. They were millionaires, all of them. And basically, they had said to us that they really, when they started, they just lost a lot of money before they woke up to themselves. In other words, they thought they're going to get rich quick. Instead, they had to lose a lot of money and then start the study as I did without losing a lot of money. So they, educated themselves in the ways of how to do options trading and buying and selling shares properly and conservatively, the hard way. So I went around the other way. I just said, okay, I'm going to do all the education first, and then I will start a small account, which I did, and then slowly build up as I build up my confidence accordingly. Now, the big advantage for me was that the software developers, headed by Eric, developed Trade Canary in the US, and Trade Canary was introduced to me immediately because I've got a diagnostic type brain where I have to look and diagnose people with the musculoskeletal and what have you, and the dry needling. I've got to be very careful with, where all the nerves and arteries are. When I saw Trade Canary, I thought, yes, this is a diagnostic tool which can help make quality decisions on the trades you select. So it gives you the tools. It's a algorithm driven software that filters 11,800 companies on the New York Stock Exchange and processes literally millions, perhaps even billions of data points and concentrates it down into one page where you can just look at a company. Yes, it's cash flow positive. Yes, it's a market cap of 500 million, or some even got a trillion. Would you believe? I think Intel's $1 trillion market cap, and you can see all their stats in one page, and no other software does that. When I saw that, I went bang. I went straight into it, and I haven't regretted that because the team at at Trade Canary, as I've said on some other videos, basically the team at Trade Canary is a bit like a pilot team on a big aircraft, right? You can imagine you've got the captain, you've got the first officer, and you've got the engineer sitting in the back in a big 747, for instance. I was in the airlines for 10 years, and these guys are flying the plane. And you, as a member of Trade Canary, can come up to the front of the cockpit. This is before the terrorism days, and I used to do that. I used to fly in the jump seat quite often. And you come up to the cockpit and you see these guys operating. You see how they're operating the aircraft, what, all the mechanisms they're using. And so this is what happens with Trade Canary. You've got a sort of gun team at the helm of Trade Canary. They're the ones doing the picks of their particular trades. They then show you what they're doing, and then they show you the successes as well. They show you the long-term strategies that they use as well. And you can choose to follow that. Not that it's financial advice, but they're just showing you what they're doing. And if you want to follow that or copy that, that's up to you. And you can do your own trades as well. So what I do is both. So I definitely follow what Trade Canary suggests, because these guys are winners. And Eric told me, this is in my conversations with the CEO of Trade Canary, his strike rate or portfolio strike rate's 98%. So that's not bad. So that gives you a little bit of an overview. I've done another overview video, but we'll go ahead with this here. So if you're just beginning, you've got anywhere between $1,000 and $5,000 for an investment account, which should be most people, I'd say, or people that have been in my shoes, where you want to build up, you want to start small, build up big later. Then we can help you out with that. I'll just show you exactly what I did. I'm not a millionaire yet, but my objective is to get up to maybe 50 grand in my account, and then build it up to 100 grand in 12 months. So we may do that. We may only go to 50. So what? I only started with $1,000, so that's not bad odds. Already I've done trades, for instance, one of my earlier trades, I think I did, and I only invest about $100 or $120 at a time. And my earlier trades were, for instance, I did Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley was $120 I put into that particular trade, and that in 2 weeks and 14 days was worth over $800. So I've done that quite a few times in different trades. So I've turned what you'd call 100 into 800, so that's 8x, 8 times its value. Now, no way on this planet will you ever put money in the bank and get that sort of return. Just recently, when the tariffs were announced, the S&P 500, they dropped. S&P 500 just went through the floor, actually. Fortunately, with Trade Canary, we were actually observing that in the background, and we already had the trade set up because we were aware that the S&P 500 was going to drop down. And so out of that one, I got on board, when the price was very low. And, I made, I put $120 into that one and made 2,000. So it's quite possible. So, you're looking at minimum amounts of risk, maximum amount of return, but you have to be very, very calculated in what you're doing, and you have to wait over time. So, okay, now let's just have a look. Let's just have a look at the Trade Canary site that we've done for Australia and New Zealand here. I'll take you through it. Remember, number one is you've got to set up with Capital 19, and Capital 19 I'll show you right here. Capital 19 is the best, what I believe is, and this is where I've got my account in, it's the best stock market trading agents or licensed agents in Australia. Their home is in Sydney, and the big difference between Capital 19 and the rest, Capital 19 is personalised service. You can always ring the guys up, not 24/7, but during business hours, and they will answer any questions that you have. I normally don't ring them up unless I'm I've done study on the subject. And then when I'm stuck and I think, okay, I need someone who's an expert to be able to advise me at this particular point, I'll ring Capital 19. Or, of course, you can talk to the guys or email the guys at Trade Canary, same thing. But sometimes it just helps to get information from a couple of different sources. Okay, so back to Trade Canary Australia. As you can see, just have a look through the the menu here. We go through the menu, and we come down here, and we've got the programs available. This is the Australia and New Zealand site that dovetails into the American site. You see Trade Canary program, which is PHFDA, which means Professional Hedge Fund Data Analysis. So just read that out again. Professional Hedge Fund Data Analysis. There's no system like it. And I haven't seen anything, not at the value that you pay for this, that will be able to give you the qualified information that Trade Canary does. Now, you see the price there is $5,497. That's in US dollars. There is a breakdown. We can break that down as well, and we can talk about that later on. Now, regarding Capital 19, you can go to the direct link. Just click on that link there and you go straight through to Capital 19, talk to them direct, set up the account, your account with Capital 19, tell them you were speaking to Graham Healy and I have referred you to them. Nothing in it for me, but I just want you to be dealing with the appropriate organisations that we are dealing with and is recommended by Trade Canary as well. They've been endorsed. So here I am here. You can have a meeting with me, just a general meeting where I'll talk about things that answer questions basically that you have when you're trying to set up an account and just give you a general overview with a telephone conversation and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so we go down to this section here. We've just come down from my section where you can have a general meeting with myself, and then we go down to this section where we've got my son, Adam Kern, who's a qualified accountant, and you can do an online inquiry with Adam. You can give him a direct call here or email him direct, but also you can contact him through the website as well. Now, what I advise you to do is, each one's got a different situation. You're looking at another stream of income. So if you're semi-retired or retired or you're on the pension or something, you've got to account for that extra stream of income that you get through trading. So how do you do that? You don't become an expert in Australian Taxation Office law. You need someone who's qualified in that. So just give Adam a call, and that's no charge and just a no obligation free call. But if you decide to go ahead with Adam and do something, then just explore these plans. There's 1 hour consultation for 150. It's pretty reasonable for an accountant. And then if you go to a 2 hour consultation where you're doing some planning about your financial situation and portfolio, well, that's about 250. Or you just arrange what you want to do as far as payment of that concern with Adam direct on the phone. So we'll just go back to home now. So I've tried to cover, every angle possible for you to set up a small portfolio. Now, we just go down to the next section, group training, and that's where I've done the bridging with you as a beginner, and I'm taking you on the journey that I did to start up. Now, as I said to you in the first part of the video, it took me about 2 years to do all the study involved in options and stock market trading and all the different strategies, the blue line, the red lines, the iron condor, the butterflies, the pin butterflies, the covered calls, the wheel strategy. I mean, that's a whole lot of things that have got to be involved in one. That just requires a lot of time to understand them. I'm short-circuiting that and just giving you the raw basics and the rationale behind it to give you some sort of background before you even get started. So it's a preliminary background before you get started. So that's in the group training section on my website here. You just sign up for that, and you can explore the plans here. When you have a look at the plans, that's obviously Trade Canary software, but the basic education plan is 500 Australian dollars, or you can break it down into 4 payments of 150, and that winds up being another $100 to break it down into payments. Now, regarding this particular, basically it's an education online where I'm doing videos like this, and I'm taking you step by step and how to open up that small portfolio, where I've said that we're ranging between someone who's got $1,000 to $5,000 to put into their portfolio. So the object of the exercise is to build that portfolio up over the next 6 to 12 months. If you're a bigger timer, or if you've got more money on hand, well, you can go to the bigger the bigger situation. You can go straight to Trade Canary direct and just follow their trades. If you're an experienced trader already, this is only for the raw beginner who needs to be held hand by hand, or needs to be crawling basically before they can walk. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just giving the raw beginner some form of assistance, just like I had, rather than spending 2 years and 10 to 12 grand in education costs. I'm whittling that down for you, just giving you the raw basics so that you can steer your account and get it all started. So, okay, so that's, I'll go back to the home there, and we'll come back and we'll go back down to the page. So there we go. That's the group training and Trade Canary Basics, I'm calling it now. Remember, you might have a small trading account with $1,000 to $5,000 in it. Then you might decide, okay, I'm also going to purchase Trade Canary as well, and that's the 5,000, whatever it is up here, 5,497 US dollars, which works out, I'll just tell you exactly what it works out to on today's market. Just one moment. Just go onto my little handy phone and we'll give you an exact amount. Just put it in here. Just one moment. What's that? 5,497 US dollars to AUD, and that's 8,357 Australian dollars. 8,357 Australian dollars. Now, we can break that down into payments, 3 or 4 payments. So we can talk about that if you're also ready to purchase the Trade Canary software. And mind you, that's then valid for 18 months. So you get a link to the software direct, and it's on your website or wherever you are. It's on your mobile phone if you want to. And you've got access to all the information, all the training, all the strategies, everything that Trade Canary is doing. That's available for that price. And when you think about it, that sort of expertise that you're getting at that price is just invaluable. I mean, for instance, the courses that I was doing before, just to join up the education was like 6 or 7 grand. Then every time they did a strategy, like the advanced strategy with the iron condors and the butterfly strategy, another 6 grand. And then they're talking about the wheel strategy. Well, that was another 6 grand. So every time that they were upgrading you onto a different strategy, it was another course and it was another 6 grand. So the price for Trade Canary is very reasonable based on what they're giving you. Actually, it's incredible value. So based on what they're giving you, anywhere else, you're just looking at a hell of a lot more money to get any other system at that value, and then get, as I said to you before, 11,800 companies are being screened over millions of data points, perhaps billions of data points, reduced down to 1 page. It's just fantastic. So, where are we? The group trading basics. is what I've just described to you. Then, of course, on the website, I've got what Trade Canary is all about. We've broken it into sectors, and that's on the blog page, basically. So you've got, training. As I said, they give you own training. Unusual options activity. That's about options trading, and it tracks all the options trades on all the different companies and who's maybe purchasing the options at bid price. In other words, they've got mid price, low, high, and mid price, and they're purchasing at the highest price. So that means that the trades, sometimes it's the CEOs of those companies purchasing their own options, or people who are buying that particular level of option. It will show you that in Trade Canary. The insider trading, I've gone through this before, but basically the insider trading is there's illegal, and legal insider trading. This is the legal version. So in other words, when a CEO buys stocks, shares, or calls of their own company or puts of their own company, that means that there's a trend happening. There's a high probability that that CEO is purchasing, make an investment in their own company. So when they do that, they have to fill out a form that I think it's Form 12 or something in the US, and that form is registered with the appropriate authorities over there. It's a bit like ATSIC here in Australia. So then that becomes public knowledge. Then Trade Canary picks that up immediately and signifies it. And when you're looking at the various companies, it'll flash insider trading, and you can actually look and see who the insider trader is in that particular company. Great tool, great diagnostic tool, and also here portfolio monitoring. You can set your own trades up. This is what Trade Canary is designed to do, and you can actually click on the various tabs, and then this will filter it into a list where Trade Canary monitors those particular. It might be 10 trades, it might be 20 trades. I think the limit's 20, and it'll monitor those trades, and you can set triggers on them and all sorts of stuff. So that's great. Now, finding new opportunities, that Trade Canary gives you the ability to be able to find your own trades. All it is really filtering all those data points so that we can see what's got the highest probability of a potential trade. And it's all a probability game. What you're doing is narrowing down the odds. Now, when the CEO of Trade Canary's got a 98% strike rate, that's not too bad, right? Sector hacking, that's basically another diagnostic tool on Trade Canary, which goes into all the various sectors, such as manufacturing, or it could be the pharmaceutical sector or what have you, and it just detects who's doing what in the sectors. So there's a whole hundreds of thousands of companies out there in the stock market. So we want to filter it down to the ones that are actually going somewhere, and going somewhere potentially very soon, either up or down. We'll make money either way. So, okay, I'll go into that on the actual Trade Canary site very soon. So there's a bit of the story there. I've gone through that before, Trade Canary story. There's my background in a bit more detail. That's not me there, obviously. That's me over there. And, our contact page, and sign up on the email and all that sort of stuff. Now, all this is, once you join Trade Canary, you get all that backup. But what I've done here, I've basically dovetailed in with Trade Canary as an affiliate, and I'm doing a preliminary backup. So I'm doing the beginner's backup, just like I had to do. And, as we go along over the next 6 months, let's say 6 months, and I'll show you the trades that I'm doing. You can have a look at the trades that Trade Canary's doing, and you can do your own trades and all this. We can all share that information. And if we win, the thing is, like, for instance, I'll give you an example. In one of the broadcasts that Trade Canary did, Eric in particular put me on to Intel. Now, Intel, huge company, you know, every computer that you've got has got Intel processors in them, right? So, but its share is only about, shares are worth about $22 or $21 or $18.50, I think they were at the time. And to buy long range calls on Intel, is very, very cheap, but the delta, and I won't go into delta here, the delta is very high. So you've got a long time range on a company that's worth, you know, on paper, it's worth over $1 trillion. So it's financially strong, but it was just at the bottom of the curve for some time. And then, you know, as the Trade Canary team advised us in one of the webinars, they've invented a microchip called 18A, which is going to be used in the American military and various things in the American military. Now, Donald Trump is building up the military. You put two and two together, and that means that Intel is potentially going to shoot through the roof in the next year or two. So that's sort of what I call calculated inside information. It's very valuable when you want to take out long-term calls, which are called leaps, long-term calls on very, very cheap stock from a financial point of view, but a very wealthy company, if you know what I mean. So we'll go into that in a little while. Now, that's all I want to show you on Trade Canary Australia, New Zealand. Just quickly go through that again. Obviously, you've got your menu. You've got what's available there as we go through that. Capital 19, we've got the price of Trade Canary there. Remember, it's in US dollars, and we can break down the payments. Online meeting, you can just contact me, make a time, and I can talk to you personally. Any accountancy inquiries, you've got Adam Kern there. There's my son, and he can talk to you about your financial requirements. And, you know, you really got to get that sorted out, because what you don't want to be doing is earning income and not accounting for the taxation of it. You know, that's a bit of a dangerous territory too. And when you earn income from options and stocks, it basically is a capital gain. So it's a whole strategy on its own. So you can have a talk to Adam about that. I'm not the accountancy expert. And then the group training is for the beginners group training. That's done by me, and it parallels in with the bigger group training with Trade Canary. Now, my group training is just to get you up and running. So just think in your own head, group training with me is going to get you, you know, $500 is a base plan, 100 or 4 payments, or 150. My group training is going to prepare you for the bigger picture. So you think in your own mind, you think maybe 12 weeks, 3 months to 6 months. So I had to spend 2 years. I'm just asking you to think about just spending 3 months to 6 months to learn how to do everything properly, including how to open your trade account, including how to trade properly and all this sort of stuff. Okay, thanks for listening, and that's the end of part 1. Part 2, I'll actually go into some detail on the Trade Canary website so that you can see how we operate through that. So that's Graham Healy over and out. Thank you for listening. End of part 1, part 2 coming up shortly. Thank you. Have a great day.